Adopt those. Will entertain.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes are adopted. Old business number 1, approval of disbursement from District 2 improvement funds. Counselor Howard.
Not here.
Ms. Standards, does that remind me what we were doing on that?
That's the part she-
We're reviewing something.
We're waiting for a couple items.
Yeah, so
All right, let's
are
motion
we ready for that? No.
to table for a week.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Ms. Howard still has a few things to get to. This is about her district improvement fund request for, I think, the summer camp. She's aware that we have a few outstanding items for review, so I think that she's still working on that.
Motion to table, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The item is tabled for 1 week. Item number 2, general fund budget revision number 17. Ms. Standers.
This one goes along with the item number 1. It is the budget revision to be able to use Ms. Howard's, prior save-up amount in her district improvement funds.
Okay.
And so those two go together. That one
Is there a
would be
motion
tabled
to table?
also.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is tabled for 1 week. Item number 3, authorization of a reimbursement resolution for the planned 2024 Elevate bond issue projects. We tabled that, I think, a week or 2 ago. I've reviewed the 2 reimbursement agreements that were prepared by our bond attorney. I'm good with it. Are there any questions or comments from Ms. Standridge or OCA?
Straightforward.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Authorization is approved. Number 4, same thing pertaining to the Saban Center project. It's a reimbursement resolution that will allow us to expend funds before the bonds are issued, knowing that we're guaranteed repayment out of the bond issue. Ms. Standard, anything you want to add to either of these 2?
No, sir, that covers it very well.
All right. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, authorization is approved. New business number 5, general fund budget revision number 18, Ms. Standridge.
Yes, sir. This is requesting to move $88,000 out of contingency within the general fund into an election expense line item to be able to pay for the city schools referendum for property tax.
Gentlemen, we're going to get a brief next week in pre-council.
Motion. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, budget revision is approved. Item number 6, and by the way, I apologize, I think my first comment should have been welcome. This is a very historic-looking group here. I appreciate you all coming down here and appreciate what you do here in Tuscaloosa very much. You maintain several icons that are visual cues for Tuscaloosa when people come to visit. So the Historic Tuscaloosa has asked us to consider a 5-to-1 match for capital funds to help them maintain, repair, and I don't think there's any major remodeling, but the properties that they manage for the city of Tuscaloosa. They have committed to raising $50,000. If we will match it with $250,000, that will allow them to do the maintenance and upkeep on the properties they manage for the city. Any questions, comments?
Just a question.
Sure,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is the Murphy African American Museum already in another budget?
There's not another capital projects apportionment for it that I know of. Not from you, is there, Mayor?
No, not to my knowledge. I know it's funded through agency.
No, agency funding
but
for
that's-
operations
That's
is
more
different.
programming.
Okay.
This is
An
to
operation.
build and fix stuff.
That
Okay.
we
And I
own.
think we'll get a briefing here in just a second, but will tell us this will include the Jemison, Battle Friedman, and Murphy African American
Well,
Museum.
Mr. Busby, just a point of clarification, it may not matter for your discussion, but the city doesn't own the Jemison.
Right, it's owned, Mr. Bobbitt, I believe by a foundation. I think the functional issue there is the foundation is hollow, is that correct?
I think that's accurate.
Yes.
And so the practical responsibility, if it's going to be done, falls to us. Will, why don't you come up and give us a brief summary of what y'all are looking at. Mr. Wilson, welcome.
Thank you for that. Well, thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Okay, awesome, thank you. The play button? Where am I pointing? Oh. There you go, thanks. IT technology is not what Historic Tuscaloosa is known for. So thank y'all for having us here today. We are asking for a 5-to-1 matching $50,000 that we will raise to go to capital projects for Historic Tuscaloosa. The buildings, the Jemison Vandergraff Mansion, the Battle Freeman House and Gardens, and the Murphy Collins House are icons of downtown Tuscaloosa, Tuscaloosa County itself. They are architectural gems. Architectural gems. There are 2 of the 3 are registered on the historic national places. Each one are culturally significant. The Murphy Collins House in regards to African American history and the Civil Rights Movement. The Battle Freeman House in regards to early Tuscaloosa in the capital years and prior to that. The Jemison Vandergraff Mansion architecturally, not only in its Italianate design, but also it was the most modern house in the state of Alabama, most technologically advanced house when it was completed in 1862. And then it also was the birthplace and home of Robert Jemison Vandergraff, who would become the father of modern physics and helped Oppenheimer in a small thing called the Manhattan Project and the atomic bomb and that sort of thing. So these are buildings that not only showcase how wonderful Tuscaloosa is and how culturally important these places are. The workmanship and craftsmanship in these buildings are not only known locally, but they're world-renowned types of work that require a very specific type of, not just a basic contractor, but a true craftsman to come in and replace and fix things that go wrong in all of our homes. All 3 of these places improve surrounding property values. We are a tourism draw for the city of Tuscaloosa. Just next month, I'm working with sports and tourism with a convention they're hosting here in town with tour bus guides and companies that will start bringing more of those tours here to Tuscaloosa. And last but not least, these are some of the projects that need to be completed. We've got plaster work that needs to be done both on exterior and interior of 2 of the buildings. Water damage that you can see that needs to be fixed and replaced, holes in the underpinnings of some of the roof lines, holes in a couple of the ceilings. Plaster work on the interior there, you can see along the yellow walls and the doors, historic shutters that need to be replaced, and installation and mold underneath the Battle Freeman House that needs to be pulled out, cleaned, and fixed up. And last but not least, forget only goes one way, folks. We've already lost 70 plus historic buildings in Tuscaloosa. Here are 4 more renowned buildings. The Rosenbaum House, top left there, which was across the street from the Presbyterian Church. The Opera House, which you see there, top right, which was at the corner of 6th and 22nd Avenue. The Battle of Graff and Reed House, bottom left, which was next door to the Jemison Vandergraff Mansion on Greensboro, and the old McClester Hotel, which was right across the street from the Bama Theater. All of these buildings would have been listed on the National Register of Historic Places, but they weren't saved.
You left out the Cersei home, which was across from First Methodist.
I was told to keep this brief. I can go for hours.
How long does it take to say Cersei home? Thank you, Will.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, any questions, comments? Mayor, anything you want to add in?
Will, do you think, I mean, money-wise, y'all are gonna raise that money, but what is are these based on your estimated construction cost of this, or is this hopefully would leave you a little reserve? You get some of this work done, or where are you on expenses, or do you know that yet?
I don't have a total on the expenses. I didn't bring all that with me. It's a folder that's like a bill for Congress, right? Homes require constant care and maintenance. Historic homes require extra constant care and maintenance. And then on top of that, you have to have specialty craftsmen to come in and do some of the work in them. This would be a tremendous help and put historic Tuscaloosa on much firmer ground moving into the future.
That's good.
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson.
Along those lines, Will, are you all developing, for instance, a capital plan
Yes.
For the houses?
Yes,
Okay.
I have a development plan in place.
Okay.
And we're working on it now. With this new development, we're gonna tweak that plan, to include that into it and, take that moving into the future.
Awesome, awesome.
Mr. Holmes or Ms. Standards, how do we structure the action to fit the matching part?
We would probably just do a funding agreement contract with the organization to transfer the funding, contingent upon their fundraising capabilities as
And
well.
what do they provide, an attestation? or-
Yes, sir. So normally that would come through me, and we would just ask for, any kind of like letter from the office to say we have met our obligation of 50,000, even maybe provide a bank statement to show, and then we just write a check after that.
Okay.
Mr. Busby, do you see that we provide the funding to Historic Tuscaloosa and then they distribute the funds to the 3 facilities? How do you envision that? Is that
And
how?
no, Will and I talked about that. I think we would treat that as we do most of the other entities like that we fund. The division within the collective that they manage is primarily up to them, not monitored by us or supervised by us. It'd be like Para or some of those others. We don't go down inside and tell them how much to allocate to each one.
I agree. Also, just from the mechanics, if they raise 10,000, do you want us to give them 50,000?
The deal was 5-to-1 match.
So is it over 3 months, 6 months, 10 years? What are you thinking? What are you thinking practically? These will be questions that will get asked, so might as well ask them right here.
Sure.
Are we thinking, each quarter they show us what they raise and then we
I was thinking that within the, before the end of this fiscal year, which for us is September 30th, that this deal needs to be done or not done. Are y'all good with that?
I think we can do that.
Okay.
So you're thinking the 50 relatively quickly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then that's simpler and easier for us.
Gentlemen, any other questions, comments on this?
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item is approved. Is there any other business to be brought before Finance Committee today? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.